Hello trainers, welcome back to Poke Patrol. Halloween may have been last month, but that doesn't mean we have to stop being spooky. Pokemon Sword and Shield came out exactly 1 week ago today, and with it brought us 94 new Pokemon, which means we have 94 new Pokedex entries to review. And as many of you know, despite Pokemon having a fun and friendly exterior, there's some pretty dark stuff hidden in the Pokedex. That's why I'm doing this video today, so I can go over the 10 creepiest / most concerning new Pokedex entries from the Galar region. So let's get started with Orbital. More specifically, Giganta Max Orbital, whose Pokedex entry is as follows. Its brain has grown to a gargantuan size, as has the rest of its body. This Pokemon's intellect and psychic abilities are overpowering. If it were to utilize every last bit of its power, it could control the minds of every living being in its vicinity. That is scary. That's way too much power for one Pokemon. We have to do something about this. We need to call Nintendo. We need to call Game Freak. We need to have this thing stopped immediately. We need to hail Orbital. Hail Orbital. On a much lighter note, its pre-evolution Dottler's Pokedex entry is as follows. It barely moves, but it is still alive. And I think that's just hilarious because that's basically just me as a Pokemon. That's funny. All hail Orbital. Next up, we have this cutie patootie Pokemon known as Wooloo. And I know what you're thinking, how could Wooloo's Pokedex entry possibly be scary or dark or creepy? Well, it is. Well, at least part of it. If its fleece grows too long, Wooloo won't be able to move. Now, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm just thinking about like Wooloo in the wild. They don't have the luxury of being like farmed and sheared, and their wool is going to keep growing and growing. And then it will render them immobile, and then they won't be able to move. And then they will die of starvation or dehydration. And that's really sad, because I love Wooloo. Wooloo is my life. And just the thought of him being immobile, basically trapped in his own body while he's starving to death, is way darker than it needs to be. And I'm sorry for putting that thought in your head if you haven't been thinking of it already. Anyway, next Pokemon. Next up we have Colossal, one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 8. I don't remember where I ranked him on my tier list, but I think now that I played it with him and he's been on my team for the whole game, I'd probably put him in the A tier. He's really cool, his shiny is great, and I've just enjoyed playing with him. He's got me through some tough parts of the game. Not that it was really that tough, it's kind of a cakewalk. That being said, his Pokedex entry is kind of concerning. It's usually peaceful, but the vandalism of mines enrages it. Offenders will be incinerated with flames that reach 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Goddamn Colossal, settle down. It's just a bit of spray paint on your wall. No need to commit first-degree murder over it. Just get like a Squirtle to wash it off with a water gun. Oh, wait, Squirtle's not in Galar. Well, just get a Clobopus to wash it off with water gun. Oh, wait, Clobopus isn't a water type. Were there any water types in Galar other than Sobble? I can't think of any. Legitimately, were there any water types? Pincurchin, was he a water type? I think he was electric. Were there water types in this game? Speaking of Clobopus, he's actually up next. His Pokedex entry isn't as terrifying or creepy as the other ones on this list, but it's still kind of unsettling. Its tentacles tear off easily, but it is an alarm when that happens. It knows it'll grow back. It's about as smart as a 3-year-old. See, I think my issue with this is, if it was just like one of those statements or the other, I'd be fine with that. It's whatever, it's an octopus, its tentacles come off. But like the fact that it threw in like the part about being as smart as a 3-year-old, now I have the association of like a 3-year-old child having his limbs torn off. And that's just kind of, maybe that's just me, I don't know, maybe it's just I'm messed up. But like that's just a weird Pokedex entry to me. Next up is Cursula. I gave this Pokemon a S tier, I believe, in my tier list. I think it's still probably up there. I think its design is really cool, its typing is cool, and just the fact that it's based off like dying coral reefs is really cool. Not that the coral reefs dying is cool, it's just, you know, implementing real life situations into Pokemon. It's cool, it's thoughtful in a way. Be cautious of the ectoplasmic body surrounding its soul. You'll become stiff as stone if you touch it. So basically, if you touch this Pokemon, you will become a Wooloo who hasn't been shaved in a while. In all seriousness though, this thing is basically Medusa. And you're going to become a statue like Ash in the first movie, and then everyone will cry, and you'll come back to life because your tears bring you back to life somehow. That's how death works. Yeah, Ash died. I'm pairing up these next two together because their Pokedex entries are very similar, and also they are evolutions of each other. It is none other than Aerocuda and Barraskewda. After it has eaten its fill, its movements become extremely sluggish. That's when Cramorant swallows it up. This Pokemon has a jaw that's as sharp as a spear and as strong as steel. Apparently Barraskewda's flesh is surprisingly tasty too. I love how basically their whole Pokedex entries are basically, these Pokemon get eaten. People eat these Pokemon. Other Pokemon eat these Pokemon. Their purpose in life is to be eaten. Speaking of eating Pokemon, that's a great segue into our next Pokedex entry for Appleton. Its body is covered in sweet nectar, and the skin on its back is especially yummy. Children used to have it as a snack. That brings back memories of my childhood. Back when I was just a youngster in elementary school, my grandma always used to pack my lunches. It'd be the same thing every day almost, because I was a picky kid. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a pudding cup, some back skin, some Oreos. It was great old times. I miss elementary school. So much easier back then. Or should I say, back skin. This is just such a weird Pokedex entry. Like, I get it. It's an apple Pokemon. It's supposed to be like tasty, but like the way they phrase it is like, they don't say like, oh, they eat the nectar. It says they eat its back skin. And that's so creepy. That's some like Hannibal stuff. That's like Goldmember stuff, you know, where like he peels off the skin, his dead skin, and sticks it in his mouth. That's what I'm imagining when I read this. And that's deeply concerning. Please, Game Freak, patch this game. It's unplayable. Next up we have Ruin Rigas. This is another Pokemon that I ranked as an S tier in my tier list video. My thoughts on it haven't changed too much. Its design is really cool, and also, now that I found out how you evolve Yamask into it, that's a really cool and really unique way to evolve a Pokemon. So yeah, it's still S tier in my opinion. That being said, it still has a really concerning Pokedex entry. Never touch its shadow-like body, or you'll be shown the horrific memories behind the picture carved into it. Jesus Christ! Next up is the Pokedex entry for Giganta Max Orbital. This one isn't really that bad, unless you read it out of context. Which, I absolutely did. So for this entry, I'm going to put on some smooth jazz and read this entry in a very sensual voice, and you just tell me what you think about it.
Cream pours endlessly from this Pokemon's body. The cream stiffens when compressed by impact. A harder impact results in harder cream.
That do anything for you? Still think that Pokemon's made for kids, FCC? Yeah, how you like that? How you like them Appletons? How do you like the skin off them Appleton backs? Yeah, this one's not really that bad. It's just my dirty mind, and you know, it's context. Context is always important. I thought it was funny and thought I would throw it in here as a little gag. That being said, the next one is deeply disturbing. So next up we have the Pokedex entry for Hatchram. No matter who you are, if you bring strong emotions near this Pokemon, it will silence you violently. What? What? Can you imagine just like having a really bad day at work and like you're just disgruntled, like Jerry from accounting was being a dick or something, and then like you come home, it's upset, and then like you just want to like cry or something, and then your Hatchram sees you crying, and it's like, nah man, no strong emotions, it just kills you. What? And if you think that's bad, when it evolves into Hatterene, this is what happens. If you're too loud around it, you risk being torn apart by the claws of its tentacles. This Pokemon is also known as the Forest Witch. Okay, so when I first saw these Pokemon, I thought like, hey, these are gonna be like some very friendly fairy type Pokemon or something. But no, either if you cry near it, you get silenced violently. If you're too loud, it's gonna rip you apart with its claws. These are not friendly Pokemon. Do not catch these things. Leave them be. Leave them be. It's fine. Who needs living decks? Who needs to catch them all? These ones can just stay out there. They're fine. You don't need them. So I think that about covers it for creepy or scary Pokedex entries for Generation 8. But if I missed any, let me know in the comments below, and I might do like a second video, but I don't think I have enough content for that. I think I've covered most of them here, but you know, who knows? So my question for you is, which of these Pokedex entries were the creepiest in your opinion? I still say it's all creamy. It's absolutely that. This is the part about the cream non-stop oozing out of its body. I've been there, man. I was a teenager once. I've been there. But let me know your opinion in the comments below before the FTC takes away my comment section. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It is the best way to help this channel grow, and it is always appreciated. Also, if you have the time, consider checking out my other social media accounts, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Discord, and my Twitch. All the links are down in the description below. Come hang out with me outside of YouTube. Have a good time. That's going to do it for me for this video, guys. Thank you all again for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, trainers. All hail Orbital. All hail Orbital. All hail Orbital. All hail Orbital. Like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. All hail Orbital. All hail Orbital. All hail Orbital.